Velkommen. Velkommen. Hi. Hi. Oh, okay. So I should probably explain. So I am in the process of learning more Danish at the moment, simply because I will be going to Denmark, and then I will be going to Belgium and Germany. So I need to practice speaking Danish, which means I need to learn some vocabulary and how to construct phrases. So that's part of my process. So I will be playing a video, which you may or may not hear. Um, but I will be practicing saying these phrases out loud into the microphone a couple of times. So yeah. The video that I am using is by a channel called Danish Mastery. Um, and he just uploaded, I believe it's like a 3.5 hour video of him quite literally translating every every single word in like a Danish sentence into English, word by word, which my goodness sounds very exhausting. Could not be me. But anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna officially mark this as the start of my practice speaking and pronouncing Danish. So here we go. Velkommen. Velkommen. Hi. Hi. God day. God day. God morgen. God morgen. God formiddag. God formiddag. God eftermiddag. God eftermiddag. God aften. God aften. God nat. God nat. Farvel. Farvel. Ses. Ses. Tak. Tak. Okay, I'm gonna pause this here real quick. So, speakers of Polish, Ukrainian, and Russian. If you, so tak means yes in those languages. And I had a bit of a weird look on my face as someone who is also learning Polish as well. So, you know, uh, tak means thank you, and the Nordic languages, that being Norwegian, Swedish, and Danish. I'm not sure about Icelandic if tak is also used, but I'd have to check. But my brain literally asked, why are they saying yes so often to one another? But then I had to remember that tak means thank you in the Nordic languages, not yes. So yeah, a bit of a false friend IRL moments. But let's continue. Self talk. Self talk. Det var så lidt. Det var så lidt. Tak for mad. Tak for mad. Undskyld. Undskyld. So undskyld is functions. Well, it has two functions. It means either excuse me, just by itself, or I'm sorry. It is like how the Poles say przepraszam. Przepraszam has the same double function depending on the context. Yeah, let's continue. Undskyld mig. Undskyld mig. Okay, so undskyld mig In this case, it only has one meaning. It means excuse me, but you can also just say unskul, according to what I have heard and from like the films I've watched. So let's continue. They are okay. They are okay. Yeah. So they are okay. Generally speaking, um, I it quite literally means it is okay. It is okay. Um, this is in English. I use this quite a lot. Like, yeah, it's okay. Um, but here in the states, at least, we generally just say we don't say it's okay. Um, we tend to, for the most part, as Americans, tend to try to look at things positively. So if someone asks, "Oh, hey, how are you doing?" Which I'm sure we'll get to that phrase in Danish as well. Um, but someone might ask you how you are doing in the states, and then you just say, "Oh, I'm good." But it's that phrase. The response isn't always reflective of how we actually feel, and I feel as though it's a little disingenuous. But even though I do it sometimes, so maybe hopefully that will change one day. But I am not holding my breath for it. So let's continue. Yeah, yeah, nigh, nigh, nay, nay, nay is fairly straightforward. Um, nay actually derives from Old English, at least if you read Old English or hear it. Um, and even so much so that we actually use nay still when for congressional hearing, not hearings, congressional voting, right? So if you have ever watched a House of Representatives or a Senate vote being held and cast, the Speaker of the respective houses will say, um, oh, what did they say? They will ask each representative, yay or nay, and then that representative slash senator will say yay for yes, I vote for this, or like I approve, or nay as in no, I reject, or I do not approve. So yeah, nay is still used. It's just not very used colloquially in English. Um, and I wonder if that's the same in Danish as well. Precis. Precis. Okay. Namely. Namely. Okay. So precis is French derived. Although in French the last consonant is not pronounced, um, and namely just sounds more Danish. Um, but yeah, so let's they mean both précis and namely mean like exactly or like precisely. So they are subsidiary. They are exchangeable in this case. Fit, fit. Okay, cool. Sådan, sådan. Er det rigtigt? Er det rigtigt? Virkelig, virkelig. Okay, cool. Er det rigtigt? Um, you can guess what it means if you're able to look at how it's written. But it literally means, is that right? Er det rigtigt? And then virkelig translates to really, which is something that I use quite often in English yeah, with some incredulity. So yeah, I think I will be saying virkelig quite a lot if I ever wind up in Denmark permanently, or if for any extended period of time. Um, in Polish, that word is naprawdę. Um, but naprawdę has two different meanings. It has, depending on the context, it could mean like virkelig, really, or it can mean that like, yeah, like truly. So it just depends on the context. But yeah, virkelig is how this is pronounced. Virkelig. Hvorfor? Hvorfor? Okay. Det ved jeg ikke. Det ved jeg ikke. Okay. I don't know. Måske. Måske. Yeah, okay. So that one, the one that he just got to, it's not really a word, it's more of an expression, che. Um, it's just like, well, dot, 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 right? So probably won't be using this, at least not right now in the foreseeable future. But maybe it'll come up. We'll see. Okay. Selvfølgelig. 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 Okay. Selvfølgelig. Yeah. So, I have heard this phrase before because of Sid Meier's Civilization 5. One of the leaders, Harold Bluetooth, he says this phrase, "Sifrili." It's very hard to hear because his audio isn't amazing in the game, even though the game itself is a lot of fun and actually tries to did as much as it could to have the leaders speak their actual languages that they represent. There's a few hit or misses, but they can be forgiven because it's the game. The game did such a good job conveying the spirit of each of those of the empires that you play as. But yeah, so Sifirli means of course. Helt sikkert. Helt sikkert. Okay. Mit navn er. Mit navn er. Okay. So I've actually never heard this, but I have seen it used in translation very often. Mit navn er. It is a more formal way of saying my name is. I wonder if we will get to the more informal way of how people say and introduce themselves in Danish. I'm actually not sure, but yeah, I assume that mit navn er is used for special occasions and it's more formal. Since I see it used as the default translation when translating things into Danish from English, let's say. So yeah, mit navn er. Mit navn er Patrick. Aha, okay. Jeg hedder. Cool. Jeg hedder. Jeg hedder is literally I am called. That's what that means. It is stems from the infinitive verb et heal, which is means to be called. But it's more often that you'll hear jeg hedder much more frequently than saying like mit navn er. And the way that you ask someone their name is vel heller du, which quite literally means what are you called, but you know, colloquial it means what is your name. And I'm sure that's a phrase that will come across in the video as well. Let's continue. Jeg hedder. I need to practice this one. Jeg læser på universitetet. Wow. Okay. Jeg læser på universitetet. That's so weird because I'm looking at this. I'm looking at how it's written. Jeg læser makes perfect sense. På kind of makes sense, but universitetet, that pronunciation doesn't make sense because there's a T consonant at the end, yet it is pronounced as an L from what I'm hearing. So, jeg læser på universitetet. Yeah, and I study at university, or quite literally, I learn slash I read at university. Jeg læser på universitetet. Jeg er arbejdsløs for tiden. Okay. Jeg er arbejdsløs for tiden. Yeah, technically, yeah, jeg er arbejdsløs for tiden. Arbejde is the word for work. For tiden means like for time or like at the moments is what I'm looking at this translation here, which makes sense. Jeg is the personal pronoun for I. Er is the verb, so like so jeg er is I am. That would be what would this be in Polish? In Polish, this would be jestem, which means I am. But it doesn't. Trying to compare the two is just it does not. It doesn't translate 1-to-1, which is fine. But yeah, arbeidsløs looks like it means unemployed. So jeg er arbejdsløs for tiden. I am unemployed at the moment, which I guess technically I am because everything I filled out was a 1099. So yeah. Jeg arbejder som. Jeg arbejder som. Okay. Jeg arbejder som musik. Yeah, jeg arbejder musik. So, arbejder, again, as I just said, arbejder means work. Jeg arbejder som. So I work as a, and then ... whatever you work as, you would input after that. So I work as a musician. So jeg arbejder som, and whatever the Danish word is for a musician is, that is what that would be. Okay. Hvor kommer du fra? Hvor kommer du fra? Okay. So that makes sense. Hvor is the question word. Where in Danish. And then kommer du fra? Kommer mean come. It's from the infinitive at come, which means to come. And then du is the personal pronoun singular for you. So, and then fra is from. Fra is pretty universal in the Scandinavian languages, even in Icelandic. Fra, it quite literally means from. So yeah, hvor kommer du fra? So you might hear this if you are introduced to someone and they are wondering what country you're coming from. So yeah, hvor kommer du fra? And then my answer in this case would be, jeg kommer fra USA. I come from the USA. But that will be changing because I will, come September, I will say, hvor kommer, sorry, undskyld. Undskyld mig. I will be saying, jeg kommer fra Irlandia. So I come from Ireland. Aha, case in point. Jeg kommer fra. dot dot dot. Awesome. Hvor bor du? Okay. Yeah. So hvor bor du? Again, vor means where. Do is you. Bor is the it stems from the infinitive et bo, which means to live. So hvor bor du? Where do you live? And this can mean either in a city, village, or country. Hvor bor du is general, and it can be used for um, for neighborhoods, pretty much anything. So like that is related to like where you live. So hvor bor du? Jeg bor i Louisiana. So I live in Louisiana. Jeg bor i or jeg bor på. Mhm. Gotcha. Okay, I forgot a very important part here. The preposition e and po are very important for when you're saying locations. They're not substitutable either, so you just have to memorize what preposition you need to use for whatever location that you say. So if we go back to my previous example, I should have said Jeg bor i Louisiana. So I live in Louisiana. Yeah. So let's continue. Jeg bor i Louisiana. Hvordan går det? Yeah. Hvordan går det? Pretty straightforward. Quite. So the literal translation of this is, how goes it to you? Or like, how goes it? Quite literally. Hvordan means how. It is a Danish question word as well. So a little side note here. Danish question words always have HV at the beginning of them. However, the H is never pronounced when those two letters are connected by one another. So there's a few words like this, like the word for white, vil, HVID, vil. The H is not pronounced, and the same thing here with Hvordan and also Vafor and Vanor. So yeah, H is silent in pronunciation, but you just have to remember to write it down in text and speech, or not speech, in text and like writing stuff. So Hvordan Gorde, how are you doing? Det går godt. It's going good. Quite literally, det går godt. Vel med dig. Vel med dig. So how about you? So hvordan går det? Jeg har det godt. Vel med dig. A little short conversation there for you. Hvordan går det? Det er godt. Vel med dig. Okay. Jeg har en storebror. I have a big brother. Store is an adjective in this case. Bro is the noun for a brother. So jeg har and storebror. Har is the verb, the conjugated verb of at have. Yeah. So a little more side note. This at have and in have do not mean the same thing. Or maybe I'm getting this wrong. Yeah, so in gave and at have, they sound alike, but they're not the same. One is a verb, at have, which means to have, and then it's an irregular verb in Danish. So the conjugation would be jeg har, du har, vi har, yada yada yada, so far so forth. And I'll talk about how the conjugation stays the same in Danish at another time. The only thing, but yeah, so jeg har and storebror, which I do have technically. Jeg har and storebror. So I have a big brother.
En storebror. Jeg er selv storesøster.
Jeg er selv storesøster.
Selv store søster.
Jeg er selv storesøster.